So let's talk about Disney's 50th animated motion picture about the long-haired beauty herself, Rapunzel, known as Tangled. Bad Days Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2010 computer animated musical adventure comedy, well, it's in a way a comedy, Tangled, which recently celebrated its 10th anniversary last month. I forgot to point that out, but anyway. The film's loosely based on the German fairy tale of Rapunzel in the collection of folk tales done by the Brothers Grimm. Of course, this was from Disney. It was their 50th animated motion picture. The film features the voices of Mandy Moore, Zachary Levi, and Donna Murphy. Now, the film tells the story of a lost young princess with magical long blonde hair who yearns to leave her secluded tower. Against her mother's wishes, she accepts the aid of an intruder to take her out into the world which she has never seen. This was to be titled Rapunzel, but changed to Tangled. Reportedly to market the film gender neutrally or something like that. But anyway. Long ago, a drop of liquid sunlight sprouts a magical healing flower. For centuries, Mother Gothel has used the flower to retain her youth, and she is angered when soldiers from a nearby kingdom pluck it to heal their ailing and pregnant queen. Shortly afterward, the queen gives birth to Princess Rapunzel, whose golden hair contains the flower's healing properties. Gothel tries to steal a lock of her hair to use the magic once again, but discovers that cutting the hair renders it powerless. So she instead abducts Rapunzel and raises her as her own in a secret tower. In order to keep the confined and isolated Rapunzel content, Gothel teaches her to fear the outside world and its people. Each year, the king and queen release sky lanterns on Rapunzel's birthday, hoping for their daughter to see them and return. She has known that those lanterns were meant for her entire life, that is. A couple times she tries to convince Mother Gothel to let her out, but you guess it, she doesn't. On the eve of her 18th birthday, Rapunzel asks to leave the tower and discover the lantern's source, but Gothel refuses. Meanwhile, in the kingdom, a thief named Flynn Rider steals Rapunzel's intended crown from the palace and ditches his partners, the Stabbington brothers, while fleeing. He takes refuge in Rapunzel's tower, but knocks him unconscious with a frying pan and hides him in the closet. Gothel returns, and Rapunzel tries to show him to her to demonstrate her readiness for the dangerous outside world. However, Gothel still dismisses her. So Rapunzel sends Gothel away on a 3-day journey to acquire pains. With her gone, Rapunzel hides the crown from Flynn and leverages it to persuade him to escort her to see the lanterns for her birthday. Along the way, Flynn brings Rapunzel to the Snuggly Duckling, a pub filled with menacing thugs, who initially try to capture the wanted Flynn, but Rapunzel charms them instead. Meanwhile, Gothel encounters Maximus, a palace horse determined to capture Flynn. Recognizing that kingdom guards may be closing in on our hidden tower, she returns there to check on Rapunzel, but she only discovers Flynn's satchel with the stolen crown, and she goes after him. Royal soldiers led by Maximus arrive at the pub in search of Flynn, but however, Rapunzel and Flynn have escaped through a passage, but find themselves trapped in a flooding cave. Resigned to their fate, Flynn reveals his real name, Eugene Fitzherbert. Rapunzel's revealed to him that her hair glows when she sings. They use the light to escape the cave and take refuge in the forest. That night, Gothel, now in league with the Stabbingtons, gives the crown to Rapunzel and suggests using it to test Eugene's loyalty. In the morning, Maximus finds the pair and tries to arrest Flynn, but Rapunzel dictates a truce in honor of her birthday, and they reach the kingdom and enjoy the birthday festivities. This culminates in an evening cruise as the king, queen, and townsfolk release the lanterns. There, Rapunzel gives Eugene the crown for fulfilling her dream of seeing the lanterns in person. They confess their love and are about to kiss when Eugene notices the Sabbingtons on the shore. He leaves Rapunzel to give them the crown as an apology, but they assault him and tie him to the boat that is headed for the palace. Eugene is detained while the brothers convince Rapunzel that Eugene has abandoned her. Gothel stages a rescue by disabling the brothers and returns with Rapunzel to the tower. Okay, now to the ending. You know the procedure. You got 5 seconds. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below to avoid the ending spoilers. If you've seen the movie, continue on after the 5 seconds. Okay, enough said. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. There, Rapunzel suddenly recognizes the symbol of the kingdom, which she has subconsciously incorporated into her paintings over the years as she's back in the tower. But anyway, realizing that she is the long lost princess for whom the people send the lanterns, she angrily confronts Gothel. At the same time, Maximus and the Duckling thugs help Eugene escape captivity, and Maximus rushes him back to Gothel's tower. Eugene enters by climbing Rapunzel's hair, only to find her chained and gagged. Gothel stabs Eugene and tries to flee with Rapunzel. But however, she agrees to go willingly if she'll allow her to heal Eugene first. Wanting her to be free, Eugene cuts off her hair, which turns brown and loses its magic, causing Gothel to age rapidly. Enraged, Gothel accidentally falls out the window with the help of a little chameleon friend of Rapunzel's to her death, and Eugene confesses his love once more and dies. A heartbroken Rapunzel mourns for Eugene, but one of her tears, still containing the flower's magic, lands on his cheek and restores him to life. The two return to the kingdom where the king and queen reunite with their daughter and parting Eugene. Finally, after a time, Rapunzel marries Eugene. End of story. So, what did I think of Tangled? Well, there was a time when I thought about this movie, but I turned it down, I believe. But I did catch most of it one time, and then since I got Disney Plus this past summer, I've watched it twice on. And well, what can I say? It's become a favorite. It's become a top 10 favorite of my favorite Disney princess flicks when I did a marathon a few months ago. Anyway, the film did pretty well. It was nominated for a number of awards, including Best Original Song at the Academy Awards. Well, a couple years later, a short film called Tangled Ever After came out, and 5 years later, a television series followed. Anyway, now I like the soundtrack to this too, as the original music for the film was composed by Alan Menken, who I'm sure you know that is certainly no stranger to doing music for Disney, with the lyrics done by Glenn Slater. Yep, I have to admit, it was really good and what have you. I especially liked a lot of the songs. There's so many to mention, like When Will My Life Begin and Mother Knows Best, I've Got a Dream, and I See the Light. Lots of good songs here. Anyway, the music was a good thing in Tangled. I have to admit, I love the atmosphere of the story. Yep. But I'm going to say I loved Tangled more than what I thought I would. After I've revisited it a second time, I love it even more. I think Tangled is just so amazing. I also like our voice acting cast. Voicing Rapunzel is former teen pop star and now star of TV's This Is Us, Mandy Moore. which I think she's delivered one of the best performances I have known of hers to date, aside from being in movies such as A Walk to Remember and How a Deal. Voicing Flynn Rider, aka Eugene, is Zachary Levi, who, of course, this was after he was a star on TV's Chuck. And of course, just more recently last year, he played the title character of the hit DC Comics flick Shazam. Voicing Mother Gothel is Donna Murphy, who I only know her from playing Dr. Octavius' wife, Rose, in Spider-Man 2. Now, well, among the thugs' voices, we have Brad Garrett as the Hook Hand Thug, Ron Perlman as the Savington brother, well, one of them anyway. Voicing a big nose thug is Jeffrey Tambor, who both he and Perlman worked on the two Hellboy movies that came out in 2004 and 2008. And the captain of the guard was voiced by MC Gainey, who I know him from movies such as The Mighty Ducks, The Dukes of Hazzard, and Are We There Yet? We have a character named Vlad, voiced by the late Richard Kiel. That was one of his last few performances, because of course a lot of you know him best as Jaws from James Bond movies, and he was also in Happy Gilmore as well. But anyway, the characters, the story, the music, everything was exceptionally good in Tangled. So would I recommend Tangled? Most definitely. This is one flick you need to see. Anyway, this is a film that really changed my opinion on what I liked about it. I mean, aside from Frozen, which would be out 3 years later. But anyway, Tangled is definitely worth looking into. So, what are your opinions on Tangled? Tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel as well, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Now, I may have another video come up later on tonight, but if not, stay tuned. I will have another Disney Princess review coming up, and it'll be on Sleeping Beauty. Thanks for watching, and if you like this, check out these recent Disney Princess vids I have done. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which I did earlier this month, the very first Disney animated feature. The upper right-hand corner is my review of the original Cinderella, which recently celebrated its anniversary earlier this year. And the bottom left-hand corner is my Disney Princess Flicks ranking, which I did when I finished my marathon of it on Disney+. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.